The 7 Stages of Manifestation Change. I'm Brian Withers, empowerment coach, trainer, and author. I did this video earlier where it was called the 6 Stages of Manifestation Change, but this process is so important really to the change in your energy that really does change the way that your life is manifesting. You see, it's not about manifesting things. It's about us learning to change the focus of our mind to be more positive, so that our energy is in alignment with its natural high vibration, and that's what allows the effortless receiving of the things that we want. The manifestation is the byproduct of the energy. I mean, everything in your life is a manifestation. Right now, whatever your life is all about, it is the manifestation of your energy. So it's not the manifestations that we're wanting to change. It is the energy that we want to change. So this process shows you the change in energy, what you do to change your energy so that the manifestations change. You see the difference there between trying to manifest something and get something different going in your life versus working on the energy. You see, we are energy beings, and we want to be broadcasting to the law of attraction, that high vibration energy. That's our natural place, and when we're there, then, as I've talked about many times in the creative process, it's just natural for the things that life has caused us to ask for. They come flowing into our life through a path of details, and there's lots of action, of course, in all of this, but it's inspired action versus forced and making things happen. So I wanted to redo this process, these 7 stages, because it's really, it encompasses so much and gives you such a good solid process to follow to retrain your mind and get your mind back into its natural high vibration place that you came in with before it got reprogrammed with all those faulty beliefs. And then once we get there, and as we approach that, then our life starts to change, and because the energy is getting higher more consistently, more often, and everything about our life starts to flow in the ways that we want it to flow. So let me go through this again, and you'll see how much it really can help you in so many ways to, on a daily basis, know where you are and how you're trending and everything else. So this is the 7 stages from the beginning to the end here. Stage 1 is the education. Now we know that, if somebody said go build a house and you had no education, that, and you never knew anything about it and you were just on your own and you attempted to build a house, you would just hack your way through it and do the best that you could. And, it probably wouldn't be a lot of fun. And whatever you produce for a result, it would be nowhere near what you would produce if you got the education. So we just did not get the education of how to live life, and that's that. And that's why life on planet Earth for us as humans is the way it is. We're basically hacking our way through it the best that we can from what we learn, and trial and error and all the rest of it that happens when you don't have the knowledge. So one place you can get it is my book of life. That gives you the knowledge of life, the creative process, shows you how everything works together, why you came here, who you are, how it all works, and you can get it there. And the other book is the Higher Vibrations for Health, Happiness, and Harmony. So once you know how it all works, you see very clearly that you have one job, basically one very main job as a human being, to have your life flow in the ways that you want to, and that is to get your conscious thinking mind in a positive focused state through your day. That is what you'll learn from the book of life and from the creative process, that everything is absolutely automatic, set up for you in every way, and all you got to supply is the positive focus through your day, and then you act on the inspiration that comes from that. And that's the way it really does work. So this book gives you all of that, and then this book helps you with your learning to focus your mind in positive ways through your day. So those 2 books together are very powerful books to give you back, the power of your mind and put you in charge of your life to have it run the way you want it to run. That's the knowledge piece of it. And then we take that and then we do things like I call them the easy intention experiments, because you want to start to build trust. Because a lot of what you learn in these books, there's a lot of non-physical stuff going on in the total picture of life, which we don't learn. So it can sound kind of foreign and strange to us, even though it is the natural knowledge of life, but faulty beliefs have sort of kept it away from us, and so it seems strange even though it's natural. So having these easy intentions, that show up, and you do, half a dozen or a dozen of those, and day after day you see things showing up, and you have no effort. You're just setting a very light intention, and you just see them show up in ways that you would never guess, and there's no effort. And then you start to think, okay, yeah, there's definitely something going on here more than in the physical. There's got to be some other things going on there. And there surely is, in which is the Book of Life tells you all about that. And then what you come to understand is that a house is no different than a pink balloon, or any object or any experience. It's no different than the pink balloon. Any intention you have with no resistance, no beliefs that counter that desire, they are going to effortlessly flow into your life. And again, you will be taking inspired action. It's not that you're not going to do things. You will, but it will be through inspired action. And so you really start to trust and feel that, okay, everything is energy. Nothing's any really different. The energy of a house weighs no different, or is no different in size than the energy of a balloon, because quite frankly, it's the vibration of happiness and joy and satisfaction and worthiness. That's literally the vibration of the things that you want to receive. And when you achieve them on one thing, you can achieve them on anything. And you can most certainly achieve a positive emotion in any moment. You may not change the circumstances of your life in the next 60 seconds, but I can guarantee you, if you learn how to use your conscious mind, you can change the thoughts in your mind in 60 seconds, so you move from negative feeling emotions to positive, and then you just keep that going, and then that is the basis by which your life starts to go back into a higher vibration, and now you're in the vibration of all the things that you want, and they just start to flow. So you get the knowledge, you build the trust, start to build the trust, and more trust will come as you start to correlate how you feel with what's happening, which comes from these following stages. So stage 3 is the big stage in terms of the time where you're going to really pay attention and change your thought habits, change your thought patterns, displace faulty beliefs. This is the stage where a lot of doing, thought doing is happening, thought action, let's say it. And to help with that is the Daily Emotion Tracker. And what's interesting about the Daily Emotion Tracker, it's very simple. You could just have 2 columns. I put 3 in here, so you just have an indicator if you're allowing or blocking for the receiving of the things that you want, because the emotion column is the really important one. So, you can go through your day and stop every hour, 2 hours, and you don't have to do this for a long time, but, just for whatever, 2 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks, and then you'll capture all the things that you're doing in your day that feel like negative emotion. You want to look for wherever it's positive, that's great. Just keep that going. You don't have to do anything with that because that's high vibration. But anywhere you catch awareness of negative emotion, that's where you want to look at the thought, and then you're going to do some deconstructing and reconstructing to get that changed around so that the emotion gets to be positive. And so, when I work with people and I look at their tracker, I'm just interested in the emotion column, and that's all the law of attraction is interested in as well. The law of attraction has no idea what you're doing through your day, not whatsoever. And what's really interesting is the beliefs that we grow up in life puts all the emphasis on this, the activity, the way we're thinking, and the things we're doing. Gives very little credence to the emotional impact of it. But guess what? Life is 180 degrees difference. This is the column you want to pay attention to. They really want to tell us in school, we want to start telling the kids, how you feel is everything. Everything. And when you don't feel good, you got to do some cleanup. You got to do some thought changing. because that's the thing that's going to let your life flow smooth. When you get this column all flowing with positive energy, your life is definitely going to be flowing in very satisfying ways. So as you keep this tracker, if you find negative emotion, you can put a B in this column, right? And what that tells you is you're blocking the flow of the manifestations that you want. See, negative emotion equals blocking the flow. And you want to allow the flow. So you say, okay, what am I feeling negative about? And you look at the activity, whatever the topic is, and then you do the reframing. I'm going to talk about that a bit in a minute as well. And you get that changed around so that you get positive emotion. Now you can change that to an A, allowing. Now I'm allowing the flow. I'm allowing the flow of the details to come into my life, my daily life, to bring me along to receiving what I want. And so desires are, like I said before, all positive emotion, and all the details of the path that bring you along, it's all positive emotion. That's all high vibration stuff. So that's why we want to pay attention to our emotions, and wherever they're negative, bring them up to positive. Okay, so just a couple little pictures here. You know, we want to get out of the freak out energy, right? We don't want to be freaking out over stuff. And the law of, not the law of attraction, I should say, the creative process and all of the information in there helps us to process things in a very calm way, which is that when we find negative emotion, we do the restructuring. We settle down, we take a breath, and then we start talking with ourselves about why those thoughts are not accurate and in alignment. And so they're not true at all, and they're out of alignment. And we don't do this. We don't freak out anymore. We just stay calm, and we talk with ourselves, and we talk ourselves out of that negative feeling thought, and we talk ourselves into the positive feeling perspective on that, which is the perspective of our inner being. And so another thing you can always say to yourself is, let me walk up the hill. I always like that walk up the hill analogy, right? Because we know we always see things much more clear from the top of the hill. Better vantage point, broader perspective. So we go up there and we sit with our inner being, and we think about what our inner being is thinking. And we know the creative process. We know exactly what our inner being is thinking about us, about others, about our life as it is, about our dreams and desires on the way. It knows it all, and it's always feeling good about every bit of it. So that gets us out of that freak out energy, and that starts changing everything. So, you know, we want to move from that to the new thought response out of the old negative reaction. So that's the value of the daily emotion tracker in this whole process. And also in stage 3, we want to keep consuming our mind or saturating our mind with the information of the knowledge of life, the creative process, and positive focusing of our mind. So, you know, the books, my books are really not pick up, read once and put away. These are reference guides that you can use over and over and over again, and especially the exercises in this book and the dialogues, the self-dialogues in this book. I mean, you can just reference those forever and help yourself to always reconnect with good feeling thoughts. So you want to keep saturating your mind, and one other thing is, if you feel like you want more of that after you finish the books, that my mastery group, my Higher Vibrations Mastery Group, that is a subscription group where I do contribute multiple pieces of content every day just to keep you thinking and keep your mind engaged and going back to the truth of life and how this all works, so that, you know, we know that as you go through your daily life, a lot of people don't know this stuff and they're still talking in them old ways. You got faulty beliefs pulling you back. You got all kinds of things that are only too happy to pull you back into those old thought patterns. So if you feel like the daily content and keeping that up, and there's a couple of live sessions in there each week, so it's just a way of continuing to keep that saturation in a high place, so that you don't slip back and you keep going until you're fully got your mind trained. And then I mentioned the deconstruction of negative feeling thoughts to positive, and so that's one part of 4 things that we want to do to basically tell a new life story on all topics. We want every aspect of our life, every relationship with every person, every material piece of material wealth that we have, about our health, about the daily things that we do. We want everything to be 100% emotional satisfaction. And much of that, or a good part of that, or some part of that, is going to be not the way you want it physically, as a physical circumstance, as a physical happening right now, but you want to achieve 100% emotional satisfaction. And that's completely achievable. And in fact, you must achieve that if your life is going to manifest differently, because if you keep focusing on something you don't like and you keep your energy there, then the vibration is not changing and nothing changes. You've got to change the vibration. And the way you do that is to boost up your emotional satisfaction to 100%. So there's 4 ways to do that. And in your current physical reality, you can focus positively on the things there. And here's ways I talk about that you can do that. You can focus on positive aspects of it, what you appreciate, the trusting of this process, favorites of things, making the best of things, enjoying what you like, focusing on what's working about something, what's interesting about it, and doing what you love. And then just the basic human things of kindness and uplifting, encouraging, respecting differences, and being helpful. That is a way to keep your mind positively focused on things where there's parts of them that you don't like. And so that's all fine to be like that, because those parts that you don't like, the positive way to focus on that part of it is to celebrate it, because it's the contrast that caused you to ask in your inner being to put something in here in vibrational reality that's even better. So even the part that you don't like about your current physical reality, you can focus on that in a positive way from the contrast perspective, that it's a celebration that your life just became more. And if you will do that, then you will very easily achieve 100% emotional satisfaction in your current life, no matter what it is. And again, if you find yourself being, if you find something getting your attention in your current life that you've kind of slipped out of these ways of keeping your focus, then you got the deconstruction, reconstruction process that will help you to get back into that way of thinking and focusing about those things. So you can see the immense value in learning to use your mind in these ways. Another thing that we always want to be is feeling good about ourselves by knowing ourselves. You see, then you know the creative process and you get to know your true self, and you start to get in connection and back in full appreciation of yourself and the amazing being that you are. And I had that series recently on self-worth. So we want that in good order, and that's another part of focus that will keep us 100%. And then we know vibrational reality. We know that that is the things that life has caused us to ask for, and we can feel the emotional essence of every bit of that right now as though it was in our life. We have that ability. Our emotions allow us to feel things that are on their way to us as much as anything that is currently in our life. And we can use phrases like, I love knowing, I love the idea of, I love the feeling of, I love the thought of. And these all put you in the experience emotionally of that thing. So, whether it's a house or a job or a health situation, anything at all that is in your life, if you have it as one experience right now and you want it to be different, then that different version, that better new version, is available for you to start receiving. And being in the emotional essence of it is the way that you do that. So when you put all these 4 things together, you can see there's nothing in your day, nothing that comes up in your day that will not challenge you in any way once you get good at this, to take you away from a positive, focused mind. And to help with this and to go along with the work that you do here is the storybook. So I've talked about that in another video called Happy New Life. And you can have this book set up. You can go back and watch this video. I'm not going to go through this again. But this lets you record a page so that every aspect of your life, again, every person, every topic, anywhere where there's a negative trend or habit or pattern, and you want to clean that up, this storybook will be a positive focus reference guide for you, so that it'll help you to train your mind to the better feeling thoughts about that aspect of your life. So it goes sort of hand in hand with this process, these components of your day where you're focusing positively on things that you want. So you can document them sort of in an organized way, so that you have that book. And you could call it the Positive Focus Reference Manual, or you could call it your storybook, call it anything you want. But it's your way to help yourself retrain your mind so that everything about your day is always going to be a positive focus, whether you're in business and it's about your customers, your vendors, whether you're an employee and it's about your employer, if it's about your health, if it's about your relationships, your different relationships in your life. It doesn't matter what it is. You want to go through your day and you want to see this daily emotion tracker positive, 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 positive. The law of attraction does not care what the content of your day is. Doesn't know if you're dealing with vendors, doesn't know if you're going to a music concert, doesn't know if you're going swimming, doesn't know if you're doing any of that stuff. And if you are, you want to make sure you're feeling good as you do it. And that will get you back into your high vibration state where everything starts to flow to you. So this stage 3, you can see, is where you're doing so much of the setup and the you're living it. You're living what you've learned in stage 1 and 2, and then you're tracking your progress and you're seeing how good you're doing. And remember, you're learning to focus your mind. So if you have a day and you don't get it focused very well, no big deal. You start using these tools and you fine-tune them so that you're prepared for the next day. That's all it is. You're having an experience and you're gaining awareness, and then you fine-tune your tools so you're more prepared. And you just keep doing that over and over until you're so good and practiced at every aspect of your life that you are in that high vibration zone more and more and more. And then what starts to happen, stage 4, 5, 6, and 7 are just noticing what's going on. So in stage 4, you're just noticing you're more calm, you're more at ease, you're more optimistic, you're more trusting of the process. You're just feeling better overall, and you're feeling everything is set up to work out for you. You're just more positive emotion. You're less negative. You're less bothered and upset. So this is a noticing of your emotional state and how you're feeling. And then you notice your days flowing. In stage 5, your days are flowing, just the synchronicities, just where you are. You seem to be at the right time, at the right place. And that happens more often. You're saying the right thing at the right time, relative to the situation that you're in. And it's right for you, not just to be clear on that. There's no overall rightness or of anything. Right time, right place means for you in your circumstances and the things that you want to have manifest in your day. So that's stage 5 and stage 6. That's the one that I added in because before we get to the full-blown manifestations, we have a trending of manifestations. And that means that it's not the full-blown, but it looks like it. You can see, hey, that's moving in that direction. That's moving in the direction that feels good, and it looks like it's that going towards what I want. And so that's a nice step to keep it. You can, track yourself and say, okay, I'm trending in that direction, and then you'll hit stage 7 where you get the full thing. And know that it's not across the board on your life. You could be in different stages at different areas of your life. Maybe in a relationship, you're at stage 4. Maybe in your business, you're in stage 7. Maybe with your health, you're in stage 3. So just know where you are and then you just keep working away and you just keep progressing, right? So this is it. We're back in school here. We're learning to use our powerful thinking mind. We're learning about the fact that we're energy beings and how to live that way through the choices that we make in our conscious mind, because that's the vibration, that's the focus and the momentum of the energy. And so now we're learning to live life vibrationally instead of physically, even though, of course, we are in the physical world, but the physical is going to flow with the energy. Instead of us living in the physical world and try to make the physical world be the way we want it to be, we're going to go now and get the energy in alignment so that it will take care of making the physical world be the way we want it to be. You see how easy that is versus the other way? Just 180 degrees difference. So one last thing I want to talk about here is the time frame of change. It's different from everybody. Don't bother looking at how it's going for anybody else, because we are so unique in our beliefs and how much momentum those faulty beliefs have, and the experience of life that we had and the upbringing that we had. It is so unique. You cannot compare yourself with anybody in any way. You just do this process for you, and you just keep building on your positive emotion, and you're on your way. So in this diagram, the momentum effect, as you start to focus more positively, first thing is you're slowing down the negative momentum, and eventually it will start to turn around. And so you can see from this graph, we have time on this axis, and we have a percent of positive emotion change on this axis. And then we have two curves. We have the positive emotion change, which can be consistently going up, let's say. But as it changes and we're feeling better, the manifestation change curve doesn't change for a little while. The momentum has to change. And then it starts to change a little bit and comes along. And then it starts to really change. And so, see, we're in stage 3 and stage 4 and stage 5 and stage 6 and then stage 7. So that's the way that this graph relates to the 7 stages. And again, just some points up here on the time frame of it all is it just depends on your dedication to doing this process and sticking with it. It depends on trusting the process and having that trust. It depends on your starting point, again, where you are with your beliefs, and then it depends on the momentum of those faulty beliefs. So there's a lot of variables in the equation. So this is really your journey. This is your 7 stages. It's not something you can compare with anybody else. You just follow along with what these stages are, and you're going to come along and you're going to change your energy, and you're going to get it back into its natural high vibration state, and then your life is going to flow in those ways. And so that is the 7 stages of manifestation change. And I would highly recommend that if you want your life to change, I guess I could have called this the 7 stages of life change, same thing, or I could have called it the 7 stages of vibrational change. They all mean the same thing. And maybe the most meaningful title for this could have been vibrational change, because as we do the 7 stages, what we're doing is we are changing our vibration, and then the manifestations change. So just to be clear on that, we are working on the energy, not the manifestations. The manifestations will come as we change the energy. So there's a process for you that you can use, and it's got all the pieces, and if you do it, it guaranteed it will work. Okay, going to leave it there for today. Thanks for listening in. Have yourself a great day, and if you have any questions, leave them on the post.